dedicating our Shiur for the success of Am Yisrael, that all of Am Yisrael are going to have a complete faith, they're going to see that it's all Hashem. And Refuah Shlema of Chana Bat Rachel. Sarah Bat Bina. So, Rabbeinu is saying, כי מיתת הבנים זה מחמת נשמות העשוקים בתקלה כידוע. People that lose their children, it's because of those souls that are still stuck in that place between heaven to earth. There are a lot of things that we cannot see, a lot of hidden secrets that our eyes are not pure enough to recognize and to see and to understand. And in that place, ki atikla hainu klipot noga, those husks that between purity, holiness, to impure and to contaminated places, hi krova el hanefesh haba'amiyut, it's close to the spirit of the person. So this is why the person, a lot of times, he cannot understand even things that are under his nose, things that are so close. And yesterday I had it, and today I lost it, and I just realized that, and after a few minutes suddenly you don't have no understanding about that, and you don't know what to do. כמובן במשנת חסידים, במסכת ההרכבה, like it's written in the משנת חסידים. So, a lot of things that a person is so fast to lose are things that he's also very close to, and he can find them and he can understand them. And if that person going to be strong enough to fight for those points of understanding, he will never going to lose them again. For that we need humility. Humility means simple faith, that you understand that Hashem Yitbarach is with you, and then you're humble. Rabbeinu defined humility as sechel, as big understanding. We saw that Moshe Rabbeinu, he was the wisest one of them all. He was the one that gave us the Torah. He was the one that knew Hashem Yitbarach more than the rest of the prophets. And he was the most humble person of them all. What he knew, like we spoke about it yesterday, in the day, when the days will come, and it's going to be that day that Hashem going to reveal Himself in the world, and everyone going to know Him. What we all going to see? We're going to see that Hashem Hu Elokim, that there is nothing except of Him, and that it was all for the good, and that's the Torah of Atika Setimah, that's the hidden Torah that's going to be revealed in the end of the days. Yes, simple understanding is going to be revealed. The lie today in this generation, in our life today, in the exile, is so thick that we're so far from that simple understanding. And it's a big secret that Hashem is on top of everything. But for us, we can understand it easily. Because really Hashem is here, and you can grab Him, you can understand it, you can understand that it's all been supervised by Hashem Yitbarach. Just because of all of the difficulties, and you need also to work, and also to eat, and also to pray, and also to learn. And on the learning, you need to learn so many things. You need to learn also Halakha, and also Mishnah, and also Shnai Mikra v'Echad Targum. And you also need to work on your Gemara skills, so you need to have a Chavruta daily, and you also need to go to Shiur be'iyun, and then you need a little bit of Breslev, Chassidut. So this is why you lose your mind. This is why you lost focus. So this is why even the limud is not bringing you to Hashem. This is why the tefillah, because you need to pray also to say Birkot HaShachar, Birkot HaTorah, and Korbanot, and Psukkah de Zimra, and then you need to say Shema in Shmona Esrei, and the brachot, and for sure in so many halachot in the Shmona Esrei, and you need to say the brachot, and you need after it to complete, and to say the vidui, and if the chazan already started, and haven't started, you need to stand the kedusha with the public, without the public, what you're going to do? And then you have to finish with Alem L'Shabach, because if you have... So you're going to lose Hashem Yitbarach, because it's only Shachrit. You have Mincha, you have Ma'ariv, you have Tikkun Chatzot. You need to say Birkat Hamazon, it's Mideoraita. You have other brachot, so you lose your focus. But beyond all of that, Hashem is there. And that's the secret. And this is why we're falling to so many mistakes, but actually, we're not supposed to fall. Because if we're going to just focus on the purpose, that it's faith, like that that all of the Torah mitzvot are established on one mitzvah, main mitzvah, that we need to believe in Hashem Yitbarach, then in every situation that we're going to find ourselves believing in Hashem Yitbarach in that situation. If you're going to buy faith, so then you're not going to lose Hashem when you're learning. And then you're not going to lose Hashem when you're davening. And then you're not going to lose Hashem when you're going to eat and when you're going to be with your wife. You're not going to lose Hashem ever. Why? Because you will always going to be with Him. In all ways of life, you will know Him. Shiviti Hashem lenegdi tamid. You're going to see Hashem in front of your eyes Always, when you're learning, "B'shivtecha bevetecha, uv'lechtecha v'derech, uv'shokbecha, uv'kumecha," when you're in your house, when you're walking, when you're traveling, when you're working, when you're talking to people, when you're learning, when you're teaching, when you're doing it b'dediyot, you will always going to see Hashem's presence with you. So then nothing going to confuse you. And that's the secret of faith. And this is why, against all logic, and because the Yetzer Hara is using everything against the people, that the Yetzer Hara, he's coming. No matter where you go, the shade is walking with you, the darkness is following you. Even to the highest places, to the most illuminated places in the world, in the sports stadiums, you see all of the lights from all of the corners, you see, and the player is standing in the middle and he's got 4 shades. So much light, so 4 shades you have, because you came to a place that now you everything is illuminating. If you still have some physical being, if you're not spiritual, if you haven't nullified yourself completely, the shade gonna be there with you. The Yetzer Hara gonna follow you to that place. So this is why we need to understand. We need to focus on something that's gonna beat him, that's not gonna let him have no opportunity against us. So Yetzer Hara is using every situation to come. In every situation, he is pushing himself into the picture also. And if you want to serve Hashem Yitbarach, so he cannot tell you, "Hey, come, let's sin. Hey, go party." No, you're gonna say, "No, for sure, no. I'm not. It's not my issue in life. I choose to serve Hashem." So he have to hide himself inside of the mitzvot. He have to trick you. He have to give you advice and reasons to sin without knowing that it's actually a sin. So he's gonna tell you, "Yes, go, be religious. Hey, yes, you need to be chassid. Hey, you need to roll yourself in the snow. Hey, you have to finish time mikra b'chad targum, and you need to learn halachot and 2 halachot a day minimum, and you have to go to this class and that class. And yes, your children, yeah, you put them in the best Talmud Torah. Okay, now you can forget about them. Go, complete your kedusha. Go, work on your eyes. Go do this. Your children, no, your wife, she's crying. No, okay, you know that she's problematic. Okay, move on." And then you lost the main part of your life, that it's your wife and your children. Those are the people that you need to bring all of the shefa, all of the purity, all of the wisdom, all of the light that you purchased in Avodat Hashem, that you received from the loving kindness of Hashem. You need to hand it to the next generation. That's your wife and your children. If you abandon them in the Talmud Torah and in the house to do whatever that is, they have their own obligations. They need to learn now. They need to prepare themselves to real life. No. It's your mitzvah. They're not commanded at all. You cannot command them. They're exempt from everything. Your wife, she's exempt of everything. Try to check. She's exempt from everything. Halacha is exempting her from everything. And your children, of course they don't have no responsibility. Even after being 13, until they reach 18. And if you're a man of truth, you're going to understand that even in 18, you cannot set them free. You need to make sure that they're going to succeed in life. It's your responsibility, because if in the age of 18 they're not qualified, they're not ready yet, so it means that you messed up when they were 13 and 11 and 5 and 6. So this is why it's your responsibility even to fix until the age of 26 and 32 and sometimes 44 and 72. Because Hashem Yitbarach, He's going to ask why they are not taking responsibility when they're 20. Oh, because of that experience when they were 10. So it's your fault, because you messed up when they were 10. So it's your responsibility. So this is why a person always needs to fight against the Yetzer Hara. And the only way that we can fight against the Yetzer Hara, it's like that we need to learn from our enemy. Like that the Yetzer Hara is attacking you from every situation, from every angle, from every aspect. You're learning, he's over there with you. You're praying, he's over there with you. You're eating, he's there with you. You're talking, he's there with you. That's how you need to fight with him. In every situation, you need to bring Hashem Yitbarach to the picture. And that's the only solution, because if you're going to try to fight and to argue and to investigate and to find ways how to beat the Yetzer Hara on the eating, on the Ta'avat Achila, on the desire for food, you're going to lose your mind on that concept. Yetzer Hara gonna wrap you like a rattlesnake. He's just gonna wrap you. He's gonna come all around you. The faith needs to surround you. You need to be covered with faith all around, from every angle, to know it's all Hashem. Even if I don't understand, no, I don't need to understand. If I'm going to try to understand, I'm going to lose my mind. If I'm going to try to understand, how can it be that in a car accident, in a bus accident, 4 angels just went up to heaven and families are broken and people are injured and in horrible condition. I cannot understand that. If I'm going to try to understand what Hashem is doing, I'm going to lose my mind. So I'm taking all of that and I'm putting it in the Gniza and I'm not thinking about it anymore. I'm just saying to myself, Hashem, He knows exactly what He's doing with us. And I'm just going to work on my simple faith. I'm just going to try to believe in Hashem. I'm just going to try to focus in the real purpose of my life. Because if I'm going to bring myself into that fight against the Yetzer Hara with his arguments, I'm going to lose. For sure I'm going to lose. Why? Because he's an angel. He's made out of fire and I'm flesh and bones and I'm limited. I'm very limited. I'm almost crippled. I'm not able to function against him. He is wrapping me from all sides. Only if I'm going to attach myself, Reshut HaYechid, Ola Ad L'Rakia. Only if I'm going to attach myself to Hashem, that's it. I'm not in that argument anymore. And then you nullified yourself completely. You don't have no shade. He cannot attack you from no way, from no angle. You're not there. You nullified yourself to Hashem Yitbarach. And then He can say whatever He wants. And then He can do whatever you're not there. You just see signs. You just have you're a spiritual being. Your body, it's not my body. It's Hashem's creation. The Hashem gave that to me. It's not. If Hashem just want now to hurt that, Hashem, it's yours. Whatever you want. Hashem, you want take that. What do you want? My watch? What do you want? My vest? What do you need? You want my body? Okay, I'm coming. I'm bringing my body. You want me to be awake? I'll be awake. No problem. What do you want, Hashem? Whatever you want, Hashem. V'nachnu ma. What? What are we? And then you nullified yourself because you become to be what? Means nothing. You're nothing. You nullified yourself. You ask Hashem, what do you want for me here? And then you nullified yourself. And what do you want here? Whatever you want, Hashem. Now you need to go for shopping. Great. You're going to go shopping. 2 hours in the mall. Yes, nullify yourself to Hashem Yitbarach. 2 hours in the mall. If you would know the wisdom and closeness to Hashem Yitbarach that you can achieve in the mall, you would run to the mall right now. I'm promising you that. I promise you would drop that class and run to the mall. I promise you that. Why? Because Karov Hashem lechol korav. Because Hashem is close to everyone that calls Him with truth. And if you crying to Hashem Yitbarach from the depths, from the most darkness places of them all, from there you're going to scream, so the light that's going to be revealed over there going to be so shiny, going to affect the world a lot more than if you're going to scream to Hashem Yitbarach in the Beit Knesset, in the synagogue, in the Beit Midrash, with the open Gemara. Okay, so you have a candle. Big deal. Okay, nice candle, Okay, it's Hanukkah. Everyone have candles. You have Gemara. Oh, you're learning. Amazing. If you're going to memorize Mishnayot when you're walking in the mall, when you're going in the Midrach of Ben Yehuda, when you go with your wife, and you don't want that. You don't want that. You want Hashem. If you're going to want Hashem Yitbarach in those narrow places, in those dark places, the amounts of light that you're going to bring down to the world going to be so enormous, so powerful, that you're going to change the face of the universe and no one else. Just you. Why? Because you brought Hashem Yitbarach to places that no one can penetrate. No one is able to go to those places. Bring those Talmidei Chachamim, those Avrechim, those illuminated people. Bring those shiny, wise Talmidei Chachamim to those places. Oh, they cannot. They're too charedim to go down to those places. They're not able to function. You're going to destroy their life putting them in the mall. You can see their faces, all confused, don't know what to do with themselves. Why? Because they're in the darkness of the exile. They're not able to function. But us, Hashem Yitbarach made such a favor with us that He brought us down, first of all, dipped us in hell. First of all, 7 years in hell. The Gemara in Masechet Chagiga is saying in the end of Masechet Chagiga, there's an animal that received its life from hell. It calls salamandra. It comes out, it crawls from the coals, from the fire, from the lava. It just crawls outside from the lava, from Vegas, from LA, going toward Jerusalem. After 7 years of fire, after 7 years, 70 years of contamination, of adultery, of alcohol, of drugs, and blood, and on horror films, movies, in life, not the videos, except of Hollywood movies that he saw. In life, in reality, guns and blood and women and whatever. And now he's marching to Tzion. Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah. And now he's taking all of those sparks, all of that, those things that he purchased, all of that life experience, and he's bringing it into the Kedusha zone, into Beit HaMikdash. Everyone going to bring from what they have. And you purchase a lot of wisdom. And the wisdom that you purchase, you cannot purchase that wisdom in no Beit Midrash, and no Gemara going to teach you that. Those scars going to give you ability to go and to help other souls that needs you. When I'm going and teaching classes in Bat Yam, I meet those poor people over there. I'm the only one that can give them advice, because all of the rabbis that are coming, they cannot communicate with them. Only because that I understand completely exactly what they're going through, because I've been there, because I was in the same parties, I used the same drugs, and I drank the same alcohol, and I was fighting on the same nonsense. So I can understand what they're going through and what they're searching for. And I can explain to them how to make another step. And it's only because that I've been there, not because I'm wiser than them. Just I purchased my wisdom out of my life experience. So if you see that you messed up completely, you are a wreck, 100% wreck, total lost. That's the gift that you received from Hashem Yitbarach. That gives you now the power to go to the darkest places of them all and to believe in Hashem in those places. And now in that place, you're going to bring down the light. You're going to bring down the Shefa. You're going to bring down the understanding that Hashem Yitbarach is here. Simple understanding. It's secret because that it's covered so much. Not because that it's really something so high. It's not high. Karov elecha hadavar. It's close to you. Beficha uvilvavcha lasoto. It's in front of your eyes. It's inside your mouth. Just want it. Just talk to Hashem on it. Just talk to your friends about it. You don't need to learn Kabbalah to be close to Hashem. You don't need to know all of the Shulchan Aruch to be close to Hashem. Karov Hashem lechol korav. Hashem is close to everyone that calls him with truth. And if your truth now is to admit, to say, Hashem, I'm the worst. Hashem, I'm the farthest. Hashem, I'm so confused. Hashem, I'm ADD. Hashem, I'm addicted. Hashem, I'm furious. I'm angry. I'm lost. Hashem, I'm not sober. I'm drunk. Hashem Yitbarach. If that's your truth, Hashem gonna shine. The ones that went into the darkness, in the end, finally they saw a huge light. A huge light. From where? From their souls. Like Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu was Isha Elokim. He was a man that revealed godliness. He just exposed himself. He was fighting himself in the long Hitbodeduyot, in the desert of Sinai. He was talking to Hashem Yitbarach for years on years on years on years on years. Hashem, don't let me block the light. When we see the kindness of Hashem Yitbarach, you just see a flower, an amazing flower. You see something, you just look, you observe, you see the greatness of Hashem Yitbarach in making bread, in building houses, in relationships, in coincidence, in private supervision of Hashem. When you see that kindness, when you see the light of Hashem Yitbarach inside your life, in that moment, when you have that bright understanding, you need to take that understanding and to charge your battery with that wisdom, and to take that wisdom to the rest of your life, to all of the dark places, to all of the constrictions that you have in your life, and to use that battery, that energy that you had now, that clarification that you found in the Itbodedut, in the Limud, in the Tfilah, in wherever, in your observation on life. When you found that spark, you need to take it and to use it for the rest of your life. And that's going to shine for you. That's what it means, that ner mitzvah veTorah or. That's a candle that you're going to walk with. That's the light. That's the torch. And then if someone asks you, where is your God? Where is God in all of the terror attacks? Where is God with all of the car accidents? Where is God with the Holocaust? Where is God in the politics? Where is God with the cancer? You're going to tell them, in the biggest city of Rome, in New York, in Brooklyn, in Monsey, in hell, in all of those places, in all of those dark places, in Soho, Hashem Yitbarach is in Soho. You can find him between the buildings. When you're looking for parking in Soho, there is no parking in Soho. You can find Hashem Yitbarach over there. You can find Hashem Yitbarach over there, between the cracks. Don't tell him no if you're going to learn Gemara. I'm not able to open Gemara. Who are you talking? Who do you think you're talking to? If I'm going to open Gemara, I'm not planning to open Gemara. So what are you? It's not. So I'm not going to find Hashem. It's your mistake that you try to teach him to find Hashem through the Gemara. He's not able. He's ADD. He's not able to learn Gemara. Have mercy on him. He been raped when he was 10 years old. He's not able to learn Gemara. What do you want from that guy? Now you block Hashem Yitbarach from him for the rest of his life because he's not able to learn Gemara. Teach him that Hashem Yitbarach is inside of his heart. that Hashem Yitbarach is close to him and he just need to talk to Hashem Yitbarach. Simple words of truth. Simple words of truth going to bring Hashem Yitbarach closer to you more than all of the Gemarot in the world. More than all of the ways of purity and Kedusha and halachot and Chassidut and torturing yourself. Like Rabbeinu said, if I would know the power of Hitbodedut, I wouldn't ruin my body. Rabbeinu himself, few long years of his life, he was going in a mistake. Out of his lack of knowledge, out of his lack of understanding on the greatness of Hitbodedut, on the power, on the potential of Hitbodedut. But us today, that Hashem Yitbarach revealed His mercifulness on each and every one of us, and He just handed it to us. Now it's ours. Now you're allowed to use that weapon. You're now allowed to use that tool, and not only for yourself, just to hand it to others, and to give each and every one of your friends that wisdom, that they will know that they can connect themselves to Hashem Yitbarach. If you're going to try to fight with the Yetzer Hara on every detail in your life, no, I need to fix my Shlom Bayit. No, I need to fix my Parnasah. You're going to lose your life. You're going to spend your life fighting with your wife on explaining to her why she needs to follow your understandings, and you will never going to have Shlom Bayit. But if you're just going to get it, that it's all Hashem, and Hashem Yitbarach is talking to you, and you're going to go and take it to the Hitbodedut, and in the Hitbodedut you're going to just say, Hashem, please let me understand, what are you saying? What do you have to say? What do you want me to understand from that wild, crazy situation? What is your wisdom? What is the sechel inside of it? What do you want from me to understand? That's it. You have the answer. The answer will come. Immediately Hashem going to answer, and you're going to have a second thought, and you're going to have a new clarification, a new understanding. Some bright light going to wash your life in some situation, in another conversation. Next time you're going to meet your wife, suddenly you're going to see the answer. It's going to be so clear. Why? Because you pray for it. Just because you mention that subject in the Hitbodedut, Hashem going to answer your prayer. Because כל המעריך בתפילתו אין תפילתו חוזרת ריקם. If you're going to lengthen your prayers, if you're going to talk to Hashem Yitbarach on those issues that you have in life, you will not going to be empty-handed. You will be answered. For sure, you will be answered. The only problem is that we're not going to the field enough. We're not going to the field enough. Obi asked me 2 days ago, how are you, Rav? I wasn't answering. After 5 hours, how are you, Rav? I'm not answering. After another 5 hours, how are you doing? I'm not able to pick up my phone and to WhatsApp him, to answer him what's going on. I'm not able. At night, maybe it was 2 a.m., I wrote to him, now it's good, thank God. After a few long hours of it, what to do, now I'm good, everything is good. Before, when you're inside the situations with all of what that you go through in life, with family and friends and things that you need to go through, with Parnasah and with your obligations, and you cannot see Hashem. You cannot. Even if you're Rav, Shtuyot, you have more problems. You have more reasons to forget Hashem. Yetzer Hara is attacking, that you're going to lose your faith. So you have to, in the end of the day, in that time that you set for yourself that it's the most comfortable time for you in that day, to take all of your life and to throw it all on Hashem. To bring it all back to Hashem. Hashem, it was not my wife, it was you. Hashem, it was not the bank, it was you. Hashem, it was not my children, it was you. Hashem, it was not my parents, it was you. Hashem, it wasn't me, it was you. It wasn't me at all, it was just you. You wanted me to mistake. You wanted me to forget. You wanted me to make that mistake. Hashem, why I've done that? So many times I was talking to myself about it and I failed again. Hashem, you wanted me to fail again because you had a reason. And then when you walk with that wisdom, you have the key for all of the situations. It's a master. It's a key. It's a master key. You can open all doors with it. That's the key, the faith. The simple understanding that Hashem Yitbarach runs the world. That's the answer for all of your questions, for all of your doubts. And it's going to solve and it's going to heal you in all terms of life, in all of your questions. You're going to become to be a Baal Tshuva. You're going to own the answer. The answer is always, Tov Hashem lakol, Hashem is good for everything, Rachamav al kol ma'asav, and His mercy on all of His creations. If you're going to try to understand one car accident, you will never going to go, you won't be healthy with the understandings. You will lose your mind. one accident, one mistake, one person with cancer. You cannot deal with that situation. Only if you take all of your wisdoms, all of your understanding, then you're throwing them all to the sea, to Yam HaChochmah, to the sea of wisdom. Throw all your wisdoms to the sea of wisdom. Throw it. Throw away the key. Go back to Hashem. Tell Hashem, Hashem, I'm sure you're right. And that's it. And that's where I'm finishing my investigation. I'm bringing myself back to the understanding that I'm limited. This is why humility and the wisdom is one thing. Because that's the only way that you can achieve wisdom, when you're humble, when you understand it. Enod milvado. There is nothing except of Hashem. And when you have that, you have the key. And you can solve all situations of life. גם צריך, רבנו is saying, שעיקר זיווגך בליל שבת, when people are married and mating, first of all, the main mitzvah is to be together in the night of Shabbat. שאז נכללת בקדושה, that then you have more siyata dishmaya, more help from heaven to purify all of your acts. והתפרדו ממנה כל פעלי אבן, and you will not gonna have no desires and lusts from that mitzvah. Like I told you, if now you're gonna see a person, it's a mitzvah midoraita. To be with your wife, it's a mitzvah midoraita. Again, it's a mitzvah midoraita. It's an obligation from the Torah that if your wife, she wants to be with you, to sleep with you, you have to be there for her. That's the mitzvah, that's the obligation. And now you, when you go to be with your wife, you need to remember, first of all, that it's a mitzvah. It's not a mitzvah to be with your wife, it's a mitzvah to be with your wife when she wants you to be with her. So now, if we're going to observe and going to see how much Yetzer Hara there is on that mitzvah, how many people lost their mind because of that mitzvah, how many people lost their kedusha because of that mitzvah. We know that rule, Kol HaGadol Mechavero Yitzro Gadol Mimeno, because that mitzvah is the only mitzvah that can bring down life to this world. There is no, if you're going to put tefillin, you won't have children because of that. You won't have souls coming down to the world because of putting tefillin. If you're going to keep Shabbos in the most wonderful way of them all, you're going to have the longest Shabbos table with the biggest number of guests in the world. You will not going to have children if you're not going to be with your wife. So you need to understand that through that mitzvah, that's the mitzvah. It's the first mitzvah that Hashem commanded us in the Torah Kedosha. That's the first mitzvah. It's the highest mitzvah. Only when you keep it as a mitzvah. If you lost the sight of the mitzvah, you lost the purity of it. If you just use that tefillin for something because you think it's an amazing costume, you're going to take it to the clubs, you haven't put tefillin, you disgrace the name of tefillin because you used it for something else and not for a mitzvah. If you don't have something to cover yourself and you take the talit and you cover yourself, it's not a mitzvah. You're not going to be rewarded on mitzvah tzitzit, talit. Because you used it not for mitzvah. It's not mitzvah. So also in that mitzvah onatah, if you use it not for the mitzvah, so you lost the mitzvah. And if it's such a great mitzvah that can bring down life to the world, from the opposite side, the shade of that mitzvah, the sin in that mitzvah, it's to bring death to the world. It's to bring sorrow and anger and frustration and sadness and difficulties and darkness and lack of faith into the world. Spiritual death to the world. This is why, first of all, we need to remember that it's a mitzvah. So Rabbeinu is saying that in the night of Shabbat, you have more siyata dishmaya to help you to remember, because it's a pure day. It's a very pure day, holy day. וזה ואכלת ושבעת זה רמז על שבת שאז השביעה שממנו נתברכין ששת ימין. And then when you eat, you feel full. You feel like you ate enough and it healed you. When people are mating and they're not doing it in Kedusha, masbio ra'ev. They're sleeping with their wives, or chas shalom, even worse than that, not with their wives, and they're losing their purity. And then they want more and more and more and more and more, and they're losing their life chasing after women. Why? Because they haven't fed themselves. They haven't connected themselves to the source of life. They haven't received the chiyut, the spark of life from that mitzvah. So they haven't received nothing from it and just lost their spark. They just lost their chiyut, their life. So they need another life. And they feel that over there it's a potential. Even though that they cannot see, their luck, their soul can see. So they think it's over there, and then they're losing more and losing more and losing more and losing more. And in the end, you see them skeletons, you see junkies, you see empty people, you see poor people, dead people, empty people, like dry wood with no soul, no chiyut, no life inside of them. But when you keep it as a mitzvah, so then you receive your soul back. Hashem Yitbarach is bringing life through you into the world, so you expand your pipes, your channels. The life that are coming through you are feeding your body, feeding your soul, and then you're growing. You have spiritual development. Thank you very much. Chazak u'Baruch.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Obi from the Emuna channel here in Jerusalem. Subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to us. It means a lot to Rav Dror. So show me some love. Show Rav Dror some love. Subscribe to the channel. We post new videos almost every single day. Awesome classes like this. If you have any questions on the classes you just watched, or just other questions that you have, or comments that you want to tell us, post them in the comments below. And we do a question and answer session every single week. So we'll either answer your question in that on video, or we'll make sure to get you an answer. And of course, check out emunachannel.com. Awesome website where we have tons more inspirational content. We have videos, blogs, music, and all sorts of cool stuff. So get involved over there at emunachannel.com, and we'll see you in the comments.